1,000 books by the time I was 6. Okay, let me stop joking. I've been summoned. Yes, I've been summoned to make this video. One of my IG friends posted on one of my videos. The question is, how do you avoid buildup? I'm going to share in this video what I do to avoid buildup, or try my best to limit or reduce the amount of buildup that could possibly occur. I'm not going to talk about what to do if you are experiencing buildup, but I'm going to talk about what to do to try to avoid it as much as possible. First off, let's start off with the definition. What is buildup? Buildup is products that are stuck in your lock. And I'm sure there are things inside of the lock that we can't see, but what becomes a problem is when the buildup is in the lock and you can see it, but you can't necessarily, touch it and get it out. It's ingrained in there and it's noticeable. So there's 2 words that I want you to think about throughout this video. Proactive, product. Product, proactive. Those are the 2 things that pretty much help me avoid buildup. What I mean by proactive, like I'm always mindful of whatever products I allow to touch my locks. From the shampoo to anything I put on my hair. When I wash, I use a clarifying and I use another shampoo that is not clarifying. I make sure that before I put the shampoo on my hair, my locks are saturated with water. Personally, I would not put shampoo on dry locks. So I make sure my hair is saturated with water, squeezing it, letting it flow through, squeezing it, letting the water flow through, and then put my shampoo in my hands, lather it up, and then apply it to my scalp and so forth. And then I make sure to rinse and rinse and rinse it clear. So I think having a regular wash routine where you're like washing your hair on a schedule. When I am using shampoo, I wash it clear, and I stick with the same shampoo that's tried and true. But let's say if you want to switch up your product, use it, monitor your hair. If you see any issue, I would discontinue it. If it's not broken, continue. But yeah, if you ever want to try a new one, just monitor it for a little while before you make it like a staple one that you continue using. Monitor how it makes your hair feel. Is it drying it out? Is your hair feeling, dry and rough afterwards? That may not be the product for you. So it's okay to switch up products, but it's not okay to have a different product every single time. You're not able to keep track of how your hair is reacting to that product. So try to stick with the same shampoo. And if I switch over, I'm monitoring it to see, am I gonna adjust to this one or add this one to my toolkit or not? Also, I avoid any thick, white, creamy products. And oftentimes they can come in like a moisturizer or a conditioner. So in the traditional sense, I know there's conditioners that can be in water-based and they can be in a different consistency. But moisturizer and conditioners that are thick, white, creamy, no, I avoid those. That product can definitely get stuck in the lock. When I think about my earlier locking days, I remember there was a moisturizer I was using, and my loctician, when she told me I could start using it for myself, she said, make sure you dilute it. And I was following the instructions. I was diluting it, thinking that, I was following it well, following the process well. But when my loctician would retie my hair, she was like, I see a little buildup in your locks. This was in my earlier part of my journey. I was like, well, I used the moisturizer and I diluted it. So it just personally wasn't something that worked for me in how I used it. Now, could I have continued to work with it and see if I noticed any difference in how it was showing up in my locks? Like, was I rinsing it out? Well, this was one that was leaving, and so was I blending it in well, rubbing it in well, or not? Who knows? But I just stopped using it, and since then I have not used anything that's creamy, white, to avoid having those problems. So that's pretty much it. I'm proactive, meaning I'm monitoring whatever products are allowed to touch my hair, and I am mindful of the products. So they kind of go together, being proactive and then the products you use. I use a clarifying. Typically, if I use an oil, it's thin and clear, and I typically apply it just to my scalp. Sometimes the excess I'll run down my locks, but rarely do I rub the oil directly on my locks. When I was loose natural, products was the name of the game. But now that I'm locked, I'm very minimal with the products I use. Rose water, jojoba oil, shampoo. When I say that's it, that is it. If you can use less products, aim to do that. If you use certain products that you love or you can't see yourself not using those products, like I said, just monitor how your hair does with them. If it works for you, continue to use them. If it doesn't work or ever gets to a point where it doesn't work, discontinue. But that's pretty much how I avoid buildup. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comment box below. Thank you for tuning in. Let's chat in the comments. Like, what do you do to avoid buildup? I've talked about being proactive in the products. Anything you have to add to that, because this is a question for people who are new. As they're starting their journey, you don't want to pick up routines and habits that's going to be detrimental to your journey or cause you, bumps that you can avoid on your journey. So yeah, let us know in the comments, what's your take on this question and your experience. I want to leave you with this thought. What I've learned throughout the 10-year lock journey, less is best when it comes to locks. You don't need a lot to maintain. When we say locks are low maintenance, that's what we mean. It's not no maintenance, but it's definitely low maintenance. So you don't have to keep up with a storehouse of product to have healthy, flourishing hair. That's all I want to leave you with. Less is best when it comes to locks. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not following me or subscribed to me on YouTube, mosey on over there. It's ibyl, same as on Instagram. So if it's going to be beneficial for me or a problem, and if it's going to be a problem, I discontinue it.